All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me in your homes this Thursday evening. All right, today we're going to be talking about tax code rebellion for travel agents. My name is Winter Boy. I am your tax coach, better known as your tax code annihilator, and silver consultant coming out of Chicago. I'm going to go ahead and allow a few more moments so that we can have as many people check in to this live training as possible. Okay, so just bear with me for a minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and get everything started, okay? This webinar is being recorded. Please feel free as I go through the presentation. Hey, let me know how I'm doing. Take advantage of the emojis at the top of your screen, and definitely let me know how I'm doing so I can know how best to serve you throughout this presentation. All right, so we're actually going to go ahead and get started. Please feel free to type any questions in the Q&A area. If I have the opportunity to go through a few questions, I will do so at the end of this presentation. Right. Let's see. Hello, hello. Thank you for chiming in with me today. Okay. All right, so if can someone type in the chat box and let me know that they're looking at this big old beautiful screen saying tax code rebellion for travel agents. If you can let me know that you see that in the chat box, that'll be outstanding. All right, are you seeing that screen? Let's see, let me go back here. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so are we seeing the slides? I'm in full screen. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get the party going here. Thank you so much again for chiming in with me. And we're going to be talking about tax code rebellion for travel agents. And let's go ahead and go through the agenda, what we're going to be learning this evening. Now, feel free. I hope you have pen and piece of paper so you can be taking down some really great notes. These details can be used to any agent or any prospect that would in fact be interested in becoming a home-based travel agent with us. This evening, we're going to be talking about the 3 biggest mistakes home-based travel agents make when it comes to filing their taxes. We're also going to go over the second most misunderstood tax loophole that is costing you thousands year after year, as well as the 7 things you must do to audit-proof yourself from the IRS. And if you do these things, you are guaranteed to pay, and I'm saying guaranteed. Me, Winter Boy, Tax Code Annihilator, is saying guaranteed to audit-proof yourself from IRS if you do these 7 things. All right. Now, at the end of this presentation, please stay tuned. I do have a special offer for you guys, and just like it says here, this information can drastically reduce the cost, drastically reduce your tax bill. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first of the 3 is not fully maximizing your home office deductions. All right. Now, once you become a home-based travel agent, you automatically have opened the door to 477 possible tax deductions. Okay. Do I know them all? No, I don't. 477. They are constantly adding, but there are absolutely going to be some ones that everybody are typically going to be able to take advantage of, just based off the premise that you have a home-based business. So let's just go over that really quickly. All right. So first of all, I think I missed let's see. First of all, we're going to go ahead, and here's a example, and I'll just talk about how I'm able to come up with that. So the first thing being is that you get to, in this particular example, we have a 3-bedroom apartment, living room, kitchen, 2 baths. Now that's going to give us 5 rooms, right? And that's not including the bathroom. That means if we were to take one of those bedrooms and turn that into an office, we're using 1/5. Excuse me, there's a miscorrection there on the presentation, but we're using 1/5 of the home, or 20% of the home, as a home office. So I'm hoping you guys are following me with that. 1/5 of the apartment or home, it could be a house, is being used as business space. So what that means is 20% of your direct and indirect home expenses, whether it's rental or mortgage, can and are tax deductible. All right. Now I'm hoping that makes sense. You have a 5-room apartment, 3 bedrooms, a living room, kitchen, and 2 baths. The bathrooms are not going to count for your room space. You convert one of those bedrooms into an office. That means 1 out of 5 rooms, 20%. That means 20% of your rent or mortgage is tax deductible. 20% of your light, gas, water bill are tax deductible. 20% of your Comcast bill. Those are kind of like the indirect costs. That's because whether you had a business or not, you were going to have those expenses. Now, when it comes to things like your security systems or K9s, all that good stuff, you can write that off. Your internet costs, if you're not using those, you can fully deduct those if you're just implementing that for business. In addition to that, home purchases like office equipment like your printers, phone system, phone lines, your desks and chairs. Those, in fact, would be 100% tax deductible because those are directly for the use of your office space. Does that make sense? All right. All right, moving forward. So our second biggest mistake is not accurately deducting your vehicle expenses. All right, you got to let Uncle Sam know that you're a road warrior. If you're one of those people that are always putting your wheels to the road to get business done, having travel parties at outside locations other than your home office, those costs should be accurately recorded so that you can take advantage of the vehicle deduction that's available once you have a home-based business. All right, and we're going to talk about that a little bit further. Now, January 1st, the mileage rates dropped just a tad bit. Accurately keeping account of your business mileage. Okay, you can deduct 50 miles as an additional deduction off back. Someone that is accurately keeping up with your business miles. So when you go to Office Depot to pick up something, when you go to Sam's Club to pick up some things that you need for a meeting, you're going to the travel party, you're driving out of state to a business function, okay? Automatically, right off top, if you're keeping up with your business mileage, you can deduct 53.5% per mile. All right, and these are one of the perks. If you're currently using TaxBot as an Evolution travel agent, using tax and it automatically keep track with your business mileage. So definitely make sure you're taking advantage of that. Okay. Now, in addition to that, I want to make sure that you're aware that if you implement a car lease for a new vehicle for your business, 100% of that is tax deductible. Okay. The sales tax of new car purchases, oil changes, tires, tune-ups, any of that, any of the maintenance, any type of vehicle maintenance, including your gas receipts. So if you're doing any type of out-of-town traveling, you definitely keep up with those gas receipts. All right. 100% tax deductible, you guys. All right, you can take it a step further and create a car allowance. I know some of you guys may have seen companies before that has car allowances. This is an advanced tax planning feature that you would have to put in play and write down to keep tabs what that set dollar amount is. And you could just do a dollar amount per month that someone gets to have reimbursed or to just be able to take advantage of. Okay. All right, moving along. Third biggest mistake for home business travel agents is ensuring that you're keeping account of all your travel deductions. So as a travel agent, you get to deduct 100% of all travel as a tax write-off. And the way that you can do that is that you have to really take some great notes. Start getting really detailed with your notes. So for an example, we have, we have convention coming up, right? So whether it is you alone or it's you and your family, there's always a way to ensure that you're writing your position to write off 100% of your travel. Now, as a travel agent alone, that's just right off the top. You're a travel agent, you're going to be taking pictures, you're probably going to be taking videos. You can use that for marketing. And taking it, you're conducting business already, but then also taking it a step further and using that for marketing allows you to confirm or to verify, hey, this is in fact a business trip. All right. And just to throw it out there too, you can travel with your family and still be able to take 100% of tax deductions. There's multiple ways you can do that. You can just market that as family travel, family adventure, so on and so forth. But if your children are actually hustling and working and grinding in this business with you as quote unquote staff, you get to also deduct those costs as well. All right. And I'm hoping that that makes sense for you guys. All right. So we're going to be moving on to our next section in the agenda. Now, if you're having any questions, please make sure to put those questions in the Q&A area. And then if we have time at the end of the presentation, I'll be able to go ahead and get those questions answered for you, okay? All right, next, I want to go ahead and talk to you about our second most misunderstood tax loophole, okay? All right, just bear with me 1 second here. Let's see. All right, let me double check something really quickly. All right, can everyone else hear me out there? Let's see. Sorry about that. Is everybody hearing me? Perfect. Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and keep moving along here. So this is actually misunderstood tax loophole. And I'm wondering, can anybody guess what it is? All right. Does anybody know what it is? Chime in the chat box and let me know. Let me know what it is that you think that might be before I go to the next slide. All right, and that's healthcare deductions, you guys. The second most misunderstood tax loophole is healthcare deductions, and I'll just go over that really briefly and give you a couple examples of what those are. And for a lot of these strategies and a lot of these things that I'm talking to you about, you may, depending on how complicated your strategy is and the going on for you and your family, you may want to go ahead and have this type of conversation with your tax professional. And if in fact you do not have a tax professional, please feel free to contact me. Plug, I have no problem saying it. All right, let's move along. All right, so what's included in that? We're talking about your insurance premiums, your co-pays, x-rays, vision. Even though I wasn't able to spell vision correctly on here, that's fine. LASIK surgery, going back to the ER, contacts, all those things that are typically found in a healthcare plan. Now, to the step Further, again, advanced taxes include creating health saving plan, medical reimbursement accounts, and flex plans that allow you to turn dollars, your cash, into pre-tax dollars, giving you additional tax savings. Okay. All right. All right, so let's see. I'm having a bit of a problem here with the mic. Sierra, if you can go ahead and just chime in. I saw that you had a group. Go ahead and chime in and let me know if it's sounded a little bit better, if you can do that for me. All right. Okay, how's that? Okay. How about now, Sierra? If you guys are wanting to put in play advanced tactics, you can implement things like gym benefits, cosmetic surgery, additional things that you wouldn't typically find health insurance plan. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take a pause for a quick second and see if I can catch up with what's going on in the chat box and possibly go over a couple questions. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm getting as of yet. Let's see what's in here. Okay, well, let's go ahead and keep moving forward. All right, so if someone questions Sierra, so Sierra asks if someone has made, but they still have a copay, can they take that as a deduction? Absolutely. Goes for that also goes for a prescription cost as well. All right. Okay. Okay, so all right, well, I was having a tad bit of technical difficulty. I want to make sure that everybody can see the screen again. Okay. All right. Do I have any other questions, you guys, before I go on to our next section, which is going to be talking about audit proofing? Okay. And let me get out of full screen mode. All right, I'm guessing we're good to go. Let's go ahead and move. Okay, what's your question? You have another? Go ahead. All right. Well, again, please feel free to use the Q&A section. All right. Okay. Please feel free to go ahead and use the Q&A section to hit off any questions that you want to go ahead and have answered. I do see Sierra, if you have a 2-bedroom house, living room, dining room, and you use the dining room off. I'm loving that question. That is a awesome question. All right, first clarify for me, are we talking about a separate living room, dining room area, or this is like a combination living room, dining room area? Can you clarify that for me? Okay, so we have a separate living and dining room space, but you're using the dining room. You're using the dining room as your office space. So IRS regulation requires that whatever room that you are using as your office be 100 office use only in order to take a home office deduction. It has to be 100% used for, okay? That may not been the response that you were wanting to hear, but that is the accurate response, okay? Well, if you are using it as 100%, if it is 100% of your office, then absolutely you can. If you do not use that room at all for dining, yes, you can take, in that particular example, you will be able to use that. So we're talking, when we calculate, and that's just a simplified way. The example that I provided you was just a simplified way to calculate or come up with a percentage to use what your expenses are. There is an additional way, which is using the square footage of your total home and the square footage of the business office and dividing that and coming up with your percentage. And then you use that percentage of your bills, and that's your write-off. And I'm hoping that that makes sense. So doing the simplified version that I use with dividing the room count and coming up with your percentage, that's one of the simplified versions of you, but you can do either way. All right, going ahead, moving forward. Now, no, before I move forward, in that particular example, let me make sure that you know how to calculate how you would be able to come up with the percentages to go off your bill. At 2 bedrooms, your living room, the office that used to be a dining room, all right, and your kitchen, okay. You have your 5 rooms because it's not going to be including your bathrooms. There's your 20%. You're still going to be taking 20% of your cost, your apartment or home cost, to calculate how much you can write off. All right. All right. That I hope that helps someone out here today. All right. And like I said, if you have a more complicated situation, if you're not in a position to do these things or implement these things yourself, and you can always feel free to take it to your tax professional. If you do not have one, please feel free to reach out to me. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the 7 things you must do to audit proof. So say you get a letter, you get that dreaded letter from the IRS. We're holding your refund. Please prove X, Y, and Z. If you have done these 7 things, they're going to have no other choice but to go ahead and release your funds. All right. Number 1, you need to automate your business with apps, TaxBot and Mile IQ. These are examples of apps that you can use on your phone to automatically help you track certain expenses, like mileage, for example, right? So it'll automatically detect when you are driving your vehicle, and it'll start calculating the day. You get to define whether that was personal mileage or business mileage. Okay, so um, automate your calculations and your reporting with apps, because the great feature with these apps is that you can, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you can go ahead and uh, submit a or download a spreadsheet with all your data, your dates, your travel data, and any notes that you put into your app. So you automatically have a spreadsheet, uh, a detailed spreadsheet, as a matter of fact, that's going to actually identify what was personal driving and what was allocated for your business. Okay. Also, number two, take a snapshot of all your receipts. Plenty of business apps that you can use on your phone to help you take advantage of it. One that I absolutely love is can scam. Wait, let me make sure I'm saying it. Cam Scanner. That's CAMSCANNER. That is a free app that you can get from Play Store or your iPhone store, and you would be able to you would be able to scan any type of documentation easily while you're on the go. Take a quick scan, because you know how receipts will fade away, right? And you won't be able to see anything on them, the dates, the dollar amounts, any type of notes, the ink will just know where it goes, but it'll just disappear. You can go ahead and take a snapshot of your receipts, right? You can write your notes on the receipt before you even take a snapshot. You circle the date. You can say meeting with XYZ prospect. You can even say follow up schedule. I mean, you can write information as you put on your receipts that just makes it hold just as strong if in fact it comes a time that it's you are questioned for the accuracy of your business accounting, right? And that takes us right into number three. Take notes. Take notes on everything. Take notes on any type of travel. If you take your family to or Miami, I mean to Orlando on a Disney vacation, and you and your kids take a couple hours to pass out flyers, and to maybe you decide to do a travel party one day that you're there, or you end up meeting someone one-on-one, you done turned that family vacation into a business vacation. You make sure that you write on in your calendar, put it in your calendar, your Google calendar on your phone. Hey, I met one-on-one with this potential prospect. I have a follow-up schedule for this. I did a travel party on this day at my hotel room in the conference hall. Just get into the habit of taking really good notes. Okay, that just further solidifies everything that you're doing, and it lets IRS know that you're not playing game. That takes us to number one. And we're going to talk about strategy. You need to make sure that IRS knows that this is not a hobby for you. So if you're creating 90-day game plans, goal rush systems, you're creating marketing plans for your cruises and things of that nature, that just further confirms to IRS, hey, this person is taking it. This is a business. They're serious about trying to make some money. Okay, whether you make some money in your business at all. Let me tell you something real quick, and I'm glad I caught that. It does not matter if you don't make a dime. And all of us are in it to win it, right? All of us are in it to win it. We're in this big picture to get paid. It doesn't matter if we didn't even make a dime. We could have made a penny. And you think I'm playing around. You could have made a penny in this business for whatever reason. If you kept up with everything and you did all these things as far as writing things down, you still get to write off. All it does is help reduce your taxable income. So for someone that has a 9-to-5 job, that's when having a home-based business really takes the cake, because now you're reducing the taxes that were owed based on that job, based on your paycheck. All right. So you just boosted your income tax refund, right? Right? Does that make sense? All right. And number 5, all a part of planning. Okay. You have your strategy. That's a part of your plan. A lot of us are in this thing and we're in it to create legacies. We're building for our family, for our children, for our children's children. If you're writing that down, you have your business plan. I'm focusing on cruises. I'm focusing on all inclusives. I'm focusing on Hawaii. I'm doing destination weddings. Strategies. You have those things, all those notes that you are taking when you're having your meetings. That's a part that's a part of the development of a business plan. Having a business plan does what? Helps you audit proof your business. All right, now number 6. Okay. Now, when I talk about number 6, that's picking the right business entity. Okay, I'm gonna go into this a little bit real quick, right? So we all typically get started in this business and we sign up and we use our social security numbers, right? So that means we are self-employed or a sole proprietor. That is only one form of a business entity. There are several for you to choose from in order to operate your business. So this is, in fact, an advanced planning opportunity here. So when you get to the point where, for example, you income earner, how about you have a 9-to-5 and you already you have a pretty good doggone wage at your 9-to-5, right? And the one to do is raise your tax bracket, right? Is that making sense? Well, you might decide, or it might be in your best play, okay, to change business entities, okay? And I'm hoping that makes sense. If you are someone, you're a high income earner, but you're making a nice piece of change at your 9-to-5, it may be in your best interest to select a different business entity to operate from. In addition to that, the audit proof statistics or percentages are actually lower once you decide to change business entities. So your risk for running into an audit is higher as a sole proprietor or being self-employed using your social security number. So if you should decide to opt for a LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, or you do a sub corporation, or you decide to inc yourself and do a corporation, you automatically, just based on the fact that you changed your business entity, you've automatically lowered your audit proof risk. All right. And then last but not least, and I've actually talked about that as as I went from the very beginning, it basically boils down to have it all in writing. Write down everything. Put it down on paper. The first thing that'll happen if you get a letter saying you need to be audited, they're going to ask you for receipts, proof of this, proof of that. You dump all this stuff on them. They're not even going to read through it or try to calculate anything. If you start sending spreadsheets from your apps, PDF files from Cam Scanner, the app you got all these notes jotted down on each piece of paper. You send in pictures of your calendar, your marketing strategy and campaigns. You have your tax plan, your legacy plan. You've changed your business to an LLC or they're gonna leave you alone. They're gonna chalk it up as a loss. They're gonna chunk it up as a loss and go ahead and because they don't want to do the work. And that's the secret. You can't tell nobody that I said that. But that's exactly what's gonna happen. All right. Now I'm hoping that this all makes sense. And I'm glad for everybody that's still hanging with me so far in this webinar. Thank you so much for letting me take all your time this evening. I so appreciate you welcoming me into your home. Okay. And I know I had mentioned to you this special offer. All right. So I definitely didn't get the opportunity to scan the entire list. But if you are someone on here that is currently not a travel agent, okay? If you are on here this evening and you are not a travel agent, I hope that you found this information valuable, okay? These are only but a dot of the tax deductions that are available to you. Like I said at the beginning of this webinar, once you become a home-based travel agent with us here at Evolution Travel, you open the door up to 477 possible tax deductions, people. Now, some of these, if you're pretty savvy, you can mess around and knock these out and get these done on your own. If you, please make sure that you do the notes, do these 7 things, maximize what we've talked about so far, and go ahead, take it upon yourself and knock that out and go ahead and do your own tax preparation, right? If yours is a little bit complicated or you don't want to be bothered, I recommend you find you a tax professional. Well, please reach out to me. I would love the opportunity to serve you. All right. Now, these all together are worth thousands of dollars a year, and that's year after year. So for every year that you are a travel agent, you get to take advantage of these tax deductions. Okay. And then with this special offer, all right, if you should decide to go ahead and partner with us, all right, you will receive bonuses that I have for you guys. These are some PDFs that I've created, and they talk about 2 specific strategies that I'm going to go over right now. One's on your screen, and that's the significance of income shifting. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on this, as this will be a PDF bonus for those that decide to come on board and partner with us. All right. Now, income shifting itself is a tax strategy that's typically used for high income earners. And what happens is you figure out a way, you plan a way, you prep for a way to shift income or profits to someone else in the home that's at a lower tax bracket. Right? Does that make sense? I hope everybody's following me. All right. Income shifting is figuring out a way, putting a strategy in play, whereas you can take some of your income or profits and shift that to someone else in the home that's at a lower tax bracket. All right, you're gonna get information. Should you go ahead and sign up and partner with us, you will receive a copy of that PDF that discuss income shifting and how it's used in the legacy planning process. Okay. All right. And your second bonus, okay, if you should decide to come on board with us for a limited time, for a limited time only, I will produce my company, Taxes Back, My Taxes Back, will produce for you a tax code rebellion strategy plan. And what this is a summary. This provides you a summary with an estimate of if you implement which tax deductions, what savings or what estimated savings will you see, and what that's going to end up doing for you on your income tax return, what that's going to end up as far as your refund is concerned, and your overall tax bracket and tax information, if that makes sense. So for a limited time, anyway, if you should decide to come on with us, anybody will go ahead and get that PDF with the income shifting and the significance of income shifting. But for a limited time only, all right, for a limited time only, you can schedule a consultation for your own tax code rebellion plan. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and you're going to have 7 days from today's date, okay, to also be able to get that tax code rebellion summary plan for free. All right, I've charged $397 for the creation of this customized plan. If you should decide to come on board with us, within the next 7 days, you will get that plan for free. You can go ahead and get all those things set up by contacting the person that put you, that got you on this webinar, getting started with them, and they will make sure to get your information to me so that we can go ahead and schedule out your tax plan consultation, okay? All right, guys. All right, so now for everybody on this webinar, let me be clear, for everybody that's live with me on this webinar, you will get that PDF, okay? You will receive that PDF for income shifting. And let's see, how many do we have on our list? All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? Let me see. Maybe I should create a poll here, huh? Maybe I should create a poll. All right, so since it's not so many of us here, it's not too many, I won't I feel comfortable with doing this. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create this poll and shoot this poll out to you guys, and you let me know. I'm gonna see what you guys say. All right. So here's my question. Would you like to receive a customized tax code rebellion for a travel agent plan for yourself? Or you'd like to hold on to one credit to be able to use for a prospect. So you have somebody you're absolutely you know in your spirit that they will be amazing, and you're trying to figure out they're interested in the tax benefits, and they're still straddling on the fence, and you want to go ahead and try to seal the deal for them. You can go ahead and have a credit for one tax plan that you can set up for a prospect or use for a newbie that may come on board with us after our 7 days have expired. So let me go ahead and take that poll. Okay, let me finish this up here. All right, let's see. Can I go ahead and open up this poll? Gotta stop this. It might help if I stop the screen share. Let's go ahead and run this poll, and you guys let me know what you'd like to do. So we're gonna go with the high. Okay, it's kind of overwhelming. Hey, all right. Anybody else? I'm waiting on some additional responses. So would you like to receive a customized plan for yourself, or would you like to have a credit that you can use for a prospect? Okay. I'm just about ready to close out. Does anybody, if you're look, if you're on the fence, go ahead and make your decision now. Now, once again, everybody, you will receive, if you decide to go ahead and sign up and partner with us, you will receive that income shifting PDF. But for those of us, for those of you that decide to go ahead and come on board and partner with us by next Thursday, you will also be positioned to either get a customized plan or credit for the prospect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out this poll. And we had an overwhelming, like that was crazy. You guys would want to go ahead and get that customized plan for yourself. So that's what I'm going to do. Everybody that's on this webinar is going to be receiving a email to schedule a consultation and their next steps in order to go ahead and get that done. So congratulations to you all. I'm glad you're chimed in with me and you're still with me so far. All right. Now, for any of you that are on the line that are not an agent, but like really saw the value in here, now you have a better understanding as to the tax advantages that are available. Come on board with us, partner with us here at Evolution Travel. We're doing some amazing things. We have our second annual convention that's going to be coming up. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you guys there. Okay. All right. And you know what? Go ahead. If you're ready, go ahead and get started. If you, for those of us that get started immediately, you're ready. You've made decision. You're ready to go. If you come on board and partner with us by May 11th, you will qualify to receive a customized plan for your very own tax code rebellion strategy. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for questions. All right, and I do have a question from our very own Tashana Singleton. And she asks, can we write off trips to the library to check out business books? All right, so I'm going to presume that you're talking about if you're driving, right? So if you are driving to the library to handle any type of business, whether it's printing out, making copies, flyers, printing something, checking out books, doing some research, that mileage is that's business mileage. Okay, so you're either needing to oh, excuse me, you're either needing to be writing that information down in a log or in a ledger and keeping it in your vehicle, maybe in the glove box, glove compartment, or you're using one of the apps. You're using TaxBot, okay, or Mile IQ, which is going to automatically track your mileage. You'll get to make a note, business, travel, library, make copies, print, checking out books, so on and so forth. Oh my goodness. I need to take a sip of water. If there's any other questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat box. Let me check the time. All right, we're doing pretty good. Okay. Now, I hope I answered your question, Tashana. Okay. Okay. Now, let's see. Next question. Okay, we have a question. Okay, and from Kelly King, we have, what's the best entity to go under as a 9-to-5er with decent income, and what's considered a decent income? That is great question, Kelly, but that is not a general question. That's not something that I could decide or to instruct or recommend, not knowing your individual circumstances. Okay, so unfortunately, I can't give you a straight out answer for that. That would be best confirmed via a tax code rebellion plan, right? When you get to have a discussion on comparing the tax advantages from being a sole proprietor versus being any other entity. What I will confirm for you is that when you get to the point where your income is excluding you from certain type of credits, then you may want to consider change. You really want to go ahead and have that conversation about changing your business entity. When we are doing when you're doing your sole proprietorship as a Schedule C, which is what this will go on as a sole proprietor, a Schedule C, or your 1040A or your 1040 tax return. Like I said, when you start getting excluded from different tax credits and programs, or when after you've done your Schedule C and you're still paying, you're paying more than you want to pay in tax. If your tax bracket is still a little bit too high, you're uncomfortable, you don't like how much IRS is still in position to receive or deduct or reduce your income amount from, or when you get to the point now when you're wanting to, and I'm also going to add this to that as well, and I'm hope I'm not confusing you, but like I said, this is more of a custom question versus a general question. When you're wanting to implement retirement plans, because those are advanced strategies that you can put in play, and Evolution Travel is the vehicle. This is way bigger than travel, ladies and gentlemen. We are changing lives and creating legacies here. So when you're ready for some advanced planning opportunities and you're wanting to implement retirement plans, you can definitely do that. And some of the retirement plans that are available are changed based on the business entity that you are operating under. So I'm hoping I didn't confuse anybody, but like I said, that is really, really great question. And if that's something you you really need to have that discussion about, please feel free to reach out to me directly, and we can go ahead and possibly schedule a consultation to discuss that further. Okay. Okay. All right. And the next question: should we use an EIN? All right, using an EIN, that's definitely up to you. At the end of the day, if you're a sole proprietor and you're using an EIN, that's just for privacy measures. That's just because you don't want to dish out or provide your social security number. If you're only operating as a sole proprietor, that's pretty much about the only perk. Just for privacy, so you don't have to disclose your social security number, for anything that you want to go ahead and set up. Now, should you decide to, if you're changing and using a different business entity structure, like the LLC, the sub corp, and the corporation, once you create a different business entity, um, you will have a separate EIN that comes along with that. Okay, so that's going to end up being something that's a part of the business entity restructuring, game plan. I would say. Okay. All right. I will take one more. All right. Thanks, Kelly. I see you. I'll take one more question. Okay. All right. So I'm so glad that I was able to help you guys in so far. All right. Now, is there any other questions? I'll take one more question, and then I'll be ending our meeting here. And like I said, if you were introduced to this presentation as a way to get a better understanding of the tax benefits that come along with being a home-based travel agent with Evolution Travel. Please get back to the person that invited you to this webinar and have a discussion with them about this opportunity. Okay, make a decision and get started with us. Plain and simple. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I can't, right? Thank you so much. I don't have any other questions. Thank you guys so much for allowing me into your home this evening. This is and has been recorded. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and you enjoy the rest of your evening, okay? Tax Code Annihilator with Evolution Travel out.